everybody. I'm Steve Schultz along with Mike Randolph. We want to personally welcome you to Youngevity. You see, here at Youngevity, we've put together a very, very simple system to help you get your business to wherever you want it to be. One thing we want to make perfectly clear is that you never have to be the expert. All right, we've got tools in place to help you build your business as big as you want it to build. Now, we're going to walk through some things with you here today that will do just that. But once again, the simple system consists of basically 3 steps, and that's making a list, scheduling an event, and inviting people to that simple event. Now, one thing that we really want to stress is making the list. You know, we put that as number 1 for a reason, because anything that we talk about, any way that you want to go build your business, if you don't have people to talk to, it doesn't really matter. So making a list is very important in developing your Youngevity business. Now, we've got programs and we've got booklets that we've already created that walk through how to make the list, how to invite people to the list, and how to schedule your event. The Simple System Quick Start Guide is available to do that. Any promotions that we run, the system is the same. What we want to talk about here today is an action plan. We want to stress the urgency in you building your business quickly. The action plan that Mike and I want to discuss today is called 5x5. And the 5x5 plan is using the Success from Home magazine. And I'll tell you what, Mike, this Success from Home magazine is probably the best third-party credibility piece this company has ever seen.
It absolutely is the best third-party credibility piece. You know, I remember my early days in this business. We scrounged everywhere just to find our name in print, even if it was bad. We loved it because having your name in print meant so much. Here we have the Success from Home magazine, and not only has our name in print, the entire magazine is dedicated to our company, to our opportunity, to our products, and to our leaders. And it just doesn't get any better than that. The key to the 5x5 action plan, though, is taking action. And what we want you to do is to get a minimum of 20 magazines to start. Now, when we talk about 5x5, that means 5 magazines, 5 days a week. You're not supposed to give these magazines away. You don't leave them on the street corner or put them at the barbershop and hope that someone comes along and reads them. The idea is to loan them out and get a commitment from folks to make sure that they're going to read the magazine, or they're at least going to watch the DVD that you'll find right here in the middle of the magazine. And what we want you to do is get that commitment. When you hand the magazine, you don't just say, here, take a look at this. You say, if I give you this magazine, will you commit to me to watch the DVD and to read the magazine within the next 48 hours?
Well, and I'll tell you what, Mike, almost 10 out of 10 people will say yes. Yes, you know, when you hand them this piece, you know, they look at it and they see the glossy print, and it's an impressive piece. And because you're a friend of mine, you know, we have a mutual respect with each other, and there's a good chance that I'm looking for an opportunity, and you hand me this, of course I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to make the commitment to read through this, watch the presentation in the next 48 hours.
Great. So once you get your 5 magazines out, let's pretend that we're starting this program on Monday. Now, we have 20 magazines in our inventory, and we give 5 magazines out on Monday, loan them out with that commitment that they're going to watch it, the DVD, they're going to read the magazine within the next 48 hours. That means you're going to schedule a pickup already on the following Wednesday. So you get that commitment, you let them know in 2 days I'm coming back. And you might want to add things like, this is a limited edition magazine, I only have a few copies. I want to make sure you get your hands on this before everyone else does. But get that commitment. You need to create a sense of urgency, and you need to get that commitment. Now, Tuesday rolls around. We've got 5 magazines out now. Tuesday rolls around. It's time to get 5 more magazines out there, loan them out with the same commitment, with the same sense of urgency, and use the same fear of loss to make sure that people understand how valuable this is. Now, Wednesday rolls around. We've got 10 magazines out. Wednesday rolls around, 5 more magazines get loaned out, 5 more commitments, But now, today is Wednesday. It's time to go back and get the first 5 magazines that you loaned out on Monday. Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. Why would you want to call these folks and give them a little warning and let them know that you are on your way within the next 30 minutes, within the next hour, to pick these magazines up? Why do I want to warn my folks?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a shot over the bow is what it is, because the person that you handed that magazine to gave you that commitment that they're going to read through it. Now, everybody has good intentions, but in most cases, they probably haven't read it. And so if you call that person 30 minutes to 60 minutes ahead of time, you're giving them a second chance to read through the articles and watch the business presentation. So when I go over to pick this magazine up, Mike, the very first thing I'm going to say to my prospect, I'm going to say, hey, what'd you like best about the magazine? What'd you like best about the articles? What'd you like best about the DVD? Now, you are going to know within a millisecond if your prospect actually read through the magazine. Because they'll start saying things like, oh, I can't believe that about Blake and Todd. Boy, Andre Vaughn, that guy's doing some great things. Boy, I can't believe the money that people are making. So instantly, you're going to know if they read through it. Well, as soon as they start telling you some good things about the magazine, that's when you need to ask for the order. At that point, simply say, I know it's crazy. Are you ready to get started with me? Because, Mike, we can go out there and hand out these magazines all day long, but if we don't ask for the order, we're just wasting
You're not
time.
Gonna get it.
We're just wasting time. So if that person says, when you ask that person, hey, are you ready to get started with me? And they say, well, you know what, not quite yet. I need some more information. That's when you need to invite them to your scheduled event. That's why it's critical that step 2 of our simple system is scheduling an event. So I can simply say, well, that's great. And as a matter of fact, we've got a meeting at my house tonight. We have a meeting Thursday. We have a meeting Friday. Whatever your scheduled event is, make sure you and Mary come over. We'll meet some other people, and I'll give you some more information about this great opportunity.
Now, let me ask you a question, Steve. That sounds great if somebody read the magazine.
Right.
Now, what happens when I come over to your house or you come over to my house and it's time for you to pick up the magazine and I sheepishly say, Steve, I didn't have a chance to take a look at this yet. Tonight, I'll take a look at it tonight or maybe during lunch tomorrow. Is that okay?
No. It's not okay, Mike. Mike, I told you earlier that I only have a few copies of this, and I need to get this magazine to somebody else today. I need to take this. And this is where you need to be a little bit tough, because human nature says, oh, Mike, it's okay. You can read, just keep the magazine. I've got 30 of them in my trunk. Don't worry about it. I've got stacks of these things with me. That's what human nature says, right? And that's what I have in my trunk of my car. But what you need to do is you need to create unbelievable value in this magazine, and you need to create a fear of loss. When I take this magazine out of Mike's hand and I walk away, he has that sick feeling in his stomach that he just let an opportunity slip away. And I'm going to say, Mike, listen, man, I've got to get this to somebody else. Sorry. And I drive away. Even if I have 20 of these magazines in my trunk, I still drive away. Because I want to create that fear of loss in Mike. Because people will run much faster from the fear of loss than any possibility of a gain. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive away, and I'm going to make Mike just sit on that for a few hours. A few hours later, I'm going to call Mike back up and say, hey, listen, man, I've got my magazine back. I can drop it off this afternoon, but I need you to make a commitment that you can read through it, watch the presentation, because I need to pick this magazine up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. because somebody else needs to see it. And I go through that process all over again. I'm not going to let you off the hook because I want you to see the business. Remember what our goal is. Our goal is to get as many people in front of the Youngevity opportunity as possible, and this is the perfect way to do that. So I'm going to work that process, Mike, all over again until you come and look at it.
And you know what? I know what's in the magazine. I felt sick when you took that away from me because there is an amazing motivation with the fear of loss. And if you follow this system, now we just talked about Wednesday, you got your 5 magazines back, so now you have 15 magazines in circulation. It's Thursday, 5 more magazines go out, 5 more magazines come back. You get the same commitments when you loan them out, and you just you instill that same fear of loss when you pick those magazines back up. and you do it again on Friday. 5 magazines go out and 5 magazines come back, and you follow this system day after day, repeating the same cycles over and over. It doesn't get any more complicated than what Steve was talking about, but let me share with you what can happen to your business if you make the commitment yourself and you follow this system. In week 1, you've got 15 magazines out in circulation because you're on that 48-hour turnaround cycle. Out of that week, you're going to talk to 25 new people about Youngevity, and out of that, we would expect you're going to get 3 to 4 new customers. You're going to get 2 brand new CEO mega packs. Now, those are folks that are on board with you. Those are folks that are going to promote the Healthy Body Challenge. Now, this system is so simple, Steve, that you can teach those 2 new CEOs in one day, in fact, in less than a day, to do exactly the same thing that you're doing. So now they're going to have their own 15 magazines out in circulation in week 2. So that means you're going to get your 15 magazines in circulation plus 30 more magazines. Now you got 45 magazines in circulation just in the second week. From that, we would expect 9 to 12 new customers and 6 more CEOs joining your organization. That's in week 2. Week 3, you've got your 15 magazines plus 30 new ones plus 120 more magazines in circulation. That's 165 magazines in circulation to build your business. 27 to 36 new customers in week 3, 18 new CEOs that week. Now week 4, your 15 magazines are still in circulation plus 390 more magazines. That's 405 magazines in circulation that are building your business. From that, we would expect 81 to 108 new customers and 50 brand new CEO mega packs coming into your organization, and that is just in 4 weeks. I'm not going to keep going on because the numbers get absolutely mind-boggling if you just follow the system. Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. Where in this system do you need to become a product expert, a compensation plan expert, or a business building expert?
Yeah, there's nowhere in this plan that you have to be an expert in any of those fields, Mike. I mean, the only thing that you have to be an expert in is handing this magazine to people that are on your prospect list. Hand the magazine, get a commitment. The tools, our tools, really do the work. And as you were walking through those numbers, I mean, think about that. I mean, you in a very short 4-week period, to add 50 new CEO IMDs to your group, what did you really do to make that happen? And that was you were consistently handing out 5 magazines 5 days a week and teaching your brand new people to do the exact same thing. That was it.
Let me ask you another question, because I know our viewers, they're already doing the math on this along with me. Now let's say my initial list that I started with, because we started this conversation by building our contact list.
Right.
Let's say I had 100 people on my contact list, and I was lucky enough that I had 25 of those week 1, 25 week 2, 25 week 3, 25 week 4. I just burned through my entire contact list in month 1 of running my 5x5 action plan. Now what do? How do I get more people to add to my contact list?
Well, I've been in this business for 23 years, and Mike, my contact list grows every single day. I tell people, I said, when you're creating this contact list, 100 is a good start, because John Nesbitt in his book Megatrends said if you are 20 years old, you know 2,000 people on a first name basis. Now that's a lot of people. And the only way that you're going to get those people on a piece of paper is if you have some type of memory jogger, memory trigger. So when you're creating your list, you know, take out your high school yearbooks, take out a road atlas, take out your Christmas card list, take out your wedding invitation list. But Mike, where everybody needs to start is with their cell phones. Take out your cell phones and look at the contacts in your cell phones, and you're going to see in most cases you're going to have well over 100 people. Now, those are just the people you know today. As you live your life, okay? When you go to the grocery store, when you go to the bank, when you go to the get your oil changed, my philosophy, Mike, is I prefer to do business with people who do business with me. And so everybody that I do business with, I'm handing them a Success from Home magazine. And I'm getting a commitment from them that they're going to read it, and I go through that whole process. Oh, now, whether they sign up or not doesn't matter to me. My job is to get those people in front of the opportunity, and this is how I'm doing it. And I'm adding to my contact list every single day by simply living my life.
Exactly. And one thing that I'd like to point out, since I love numbers so much, when we went through these numbers and you got over 400 magazines out in circulation, you personally still only have your 15 magazines in circulation. Of those 50 new CEOs that came in week number 4, you only had 2. The rest of them is the duplication process. It's repeating the story over and over. It's sticking to this simple system and just repeating the little things over and over and over again. I know that some people think that repetitious process gets boring, but one thing that I noticed over 20 years ago in my business was, as long as new people are coming in, it never gets boring.
Never gets boring. As long as you've got new people in your organization, and you know, you go to the same trainings every week, you go to the same business presentations, as long as you have new people in the room, you will pretend that it's the very first time you ever saw that presentation.
It's almost like watching a play on Broadway. You know, they use the same script twice a night a lot of times to a different audience.
Yep.
And it's always brand new. And building your Youngevity business with the Success from Home magazine, the 5x5 action plan, is almost the same thing. You're performing the same small little story in front of new people constantly, which makes it fresh every single day.
Now, Mike, to work this plan, there are 2 things that you really need. What are the 2 things that we need?
Well, first of all, you need to go get yourself some magazines. Now, we have one little bundle here. They're available in 10 packs, they're available in 50 packs, and they're available in 100 packs. Now, we wouldn't have them in a 100 pack unless people were actually buying them by the 100 pack.
Right.
So you want to get your magazines. If you don't have those, you need to get them. But even more important than the magazine is what?
Is that prospect list. Is that list. You have to have a list of people to get these magazines to, and that's where this whole program, the 5x5 action plan, starts. With that prospect list, with the Success from Home magazines. If you haven't ordered these, go to your back office, click on order, click on new order, and then go down to sales aids or sales tools, and you're going to see where these magazines are. Plenty of opportunity to get these, but remember, these are limited. We don't have an unlimited supply of these magazines, so make sure that you get yours ordered today.
I think that's it, Steve.
Well,
we've covered this stem to stern.
Well,
it doesn't get any more complicated.
It doesn't. This is a very, very simple system. Let the system do the work for you. Make sure that you tap into the conference calls that we have scheduled. Make sure you tap into the weekly trainings, the weekly business presentations. Go out there, and you really have something special in your hands. Take advantage of this opportunity and tell everybody. Do not be a secret agent in this business. Go out there and build a Youngevity business. Go out there and create a lifestyle that you've always wanted to create. Good luck.